Imagine the snow-covered expanse of Russia, a vast and frigid land where the cold bites deep and the winds howl through the barren trees. A nation teetering on the brink, its people weary and disillusioned. The First World War grinds on, a bloody stalemate that has drained the nation's spirit and resources, leaving behind a trail of despair and hopelessness. The air crackles with discontent, a palpable tension that can be felt in every corner of the country. Whispers of revolution dance on the icy wind carried from one ear to another, growing louder with each passing day. In the heart of this turmoil, a figure emerges from the shadows, a man whose presence will soon become synonymous with change. Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov, better known to the world as Lenin, a name that will echo through history. A revolutionary forged in exile, tempered by hardship and driven by an unwavering belief in the power of ideas, Lenin's journey is one of resilience and determination. His arrival in St. Petersburg, like a spark to dry tinder, ignites the inferno of revolution that will forever alter the course of history, setting the stage for a dramatic upheaval. This is the story of Lenin, a man whose vision and resolve would change the world. A story of unwavering conviction, of a man who believed in the transformative power of his ideas. A story of brutal revolution and the birth of a new world order, a tale of struggle and sacrifice. A story that continues to echo through the corridors of time, shaping our world in ways both profound and unsettling, leaving an indelible mark on history. It is a story that demands to be told, understood, debated, for in its telling we confront the enduring power of ideology, the intoxicating allure of revolution, and the enduring legacy of a man who dared to reshape the world in his own image. Lenin's journey, from the quiet intellectualism of his youth to the crucible of revolution, is a testament to the power of ideas to shape destinies, to mold the future from the crucible of the present. His life and legacy are inextricably intertwined with the tumultuous events of the 20th century, a period marked by both unprecedented progress and unimaginable brutality, a time of great change and great suffering. To understand Lenin is to grapple with the complexities of revolution, to confront the seductive appeal of radical change and its often devastating consequences, to see the world through the eyes of a man who believed in the possibility of a better future. It is to explore the enduring tension between ideology and pragmatism, between the pursuit of utopia and the messy realities of power, a tension that continues to shape our world today. Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov was born in 1870 in the heart of Tsarist Russia, a land ruled by autocratic emperors and steeped in centuries-old traditions. His childhood was comfortable, his family belonging to the educated middle class. They lived in a well-furnished home surrounded by books and the trappings of a cultured life. Young Vladimir, a bright and inquisitive child, excelled in his studies, showing an early aptitude for languages and literature. He was often found with his nose buried in a book, absorbing knowledge like a sponge. But beneath the veneer of normalcy, a storm was brewing. The social and political landscape of Russia was fraught with tension and unrest. The seeds of revolution were sown early in Lenin's life, planted by the very system he would later dedicate himself to overthrowing. The injustices he witnessed in his formative years left an indelible mark on his psyche. In 1887, tragedy struck the Ulyanov family. The loss was not just personal but also deeply political. Lenin's elder brother Alexander was arrested and executed for his role in a plot to assassinate Tsar Alexander III. This act of defiance and its brutal consequence reverberated through the family. This event, a brutal intrusion of the state's power into his family's life, had a profound impact on the young Lenin. It was a moment of awakening, a harsh introduction to the realities of political struggle. It shattered his youthful idealism, exposing the brutality and injustice that lay at the heart of the Tsarist regime. The oppressive nature of the state became glaringly apparent. This tragedy ignited a fire in Lenin's soul. He became determined to understand the forces that shaped his world and to find a way to change them. He immersed himself in his studies, devouring political texts and engaging in heated debates with his peers. The classroom became a battleground of ideas, where young minds clashed and new ideologies took root. He gravitated towards radical ideas, drawn to the writings of Karl Marx and the burgeoning socialist movement. The vision of a classless society where workers held the reins of power captivated him. His brother's execution had not only awakened him to the evils of Tsarism, it had also awakened him to the possibility of change, of a world beyond the suffocating grip of autocracy. He began to see revolution as not just a possibility, but a necessity. Lenin's transformation from a promising student to a dedicated revolutionary was not immediate. It was a journey marked by intense study, personal loss, and a growing awareness of the systemic injustices around him. It was a gradual process, fueled by a thirst for knowledge, a burning sense of injustice, and a growing belief that the only way to achieve true equality was through radical, systemic change. This belief would drive him to become one of the most influential figures in modern history. Exiled to Siberia for his revolutionary activities, Lenin immersed himself in Marxist theory. This period of isolation, though harsh and challenging, became a crucible for his intellectual development. He devoured every text he could find, engaging in passionate debates with fellow exiles. These discussions were not mere academic exercises. They were intense, often heated, and always aimed at understanding the practical application of Marxist ideas. It was during this period of forced isolation that Lenin developed his unique interpretation of Marxism, one that would have profound consequences for the future of Russia and the world. His writings from this time reflect a deepening of his revolutionary fervor and a sharpening of his strategic vision. Central to Lenin's ideology was the concept of the vanguard party. This idea was not just a theoretical construct but a practical necessity in his view. Marx had envisioned a spontaneous uprising of the proletariat, the working class rising up to seize the means of production. This vision, while inspiring, seemed impractical to Lenin given the conditions in Russia. Lenin, however, believed that the proletariat, mired in poverty and lacking education, were incapable of leading a revolution on their own. The harsh realities of their daily lives left them little time or energy to engage in revolutionary activities. They needed guidance, a disciplined and organized vanguard to lead them. This vanguard would act as the brains and the driving force behind the revolution. This vanguard, composed of professional revolutionaries, would educate the masses, raise their political consciousness, and ultimately guide them towards a socialist future. They would be the torchbearers, lighting the way for the proletariat. Lenin's vanguard party was not simply a political organization. It was a revolutionary brotherhood, bound by a shared ideology and an unwavering commitment to the cause. This sense of brotherhood fostered a deep sense of loyalty and camaraderie among its members. Its members were expected to be disciplined, dedicated, and willing to sacrifice everything for the revolution. This level of commitment was essential for the success of their revolutionary goals. They were to be the vanguard of the proletariat, the tip of the spear that would pierce the heart of the Tsarist regime. Their actions would set the stage for the broader revolutionary movement. This concept of the vanguard party, while controversial, proved to be one of Lenin's most enduring contributions to revolutionary theory. It sparked debates and discussions that continue to this day. It provided a blueprint for revolutionary movements around the world, inspiring generations of revolutionaries from Mao Zedong to Fidel Castro. These leaders adapted Lenin's ideas to their own context, demonstrating the flexibility and enduring relevance of the vanguard concept. It also laid the groundwork for the centralized authoritarian state that would emerge from the ashes of the Russian Empire. This new state, while controversial, was seen by Lenin as a necessary step towards achieving a socialist society. The year 1917 dawned with Russia teetering on the precipice of revolution. The Tsar's grip on power, weakened by years of war and discontent, was finally slipping. In February, strikes and protests erupted in the streets of Petrograd, the capital city. The Tsar abdicated, and a provisional government composed of liberals and moderate socialists took power, promising reforms and a new era of democracy. Lenin, in exile in Switzerland, watched these events unfold with a mixture of anticipation and frustration. He knew that this was the moment he had been waiting for, the opportunity to put his revolutionary theories into practice. In April, with the help of the German government, Lenin returned to Russia. His arrival at Petrograd's Finland station was a pivotal moment in the revolution. Lenin's message was simple and electrifying: peace, bread, land. He denounced the provisional government as weak and indecisive, accusing them of betraying the revolution. He called for an immediate end to the war, the redistribution of land to the peasants, and the transfer of power to the Soviets, the councils of workers and soldiers that had sprung up across the country. Lenin's words resonated with the masses, weary of war and desperate for change. Under his leadership, the Bolshevik Party, a radical faction of the socialist movement, grew rapidly in strength and influence. They became the voice of the discontented, the champions of the workers and peasants who felt betrayed by the promises of the February Revolution.